live from the Salvation Army National Headquarters. This is the Fight for Good podcast.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fight for Good podcast. I'm your host, Lieutenant Colonel Tim Foley, broadcasting from my studio in my basement once again, as we are recording this while we're experiencing the COVID-19 crisis, working remotely. With me here digitally and virtually is our assistant to the editorial director, Michele Katsaris. Hi, Michele.
Hey.
Also joining us is our producer, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Are you guys like American Idol fans at all?
I love American Idol. I actually was in the audience and stood right behind Ryan Seacrest one time. So this interview for me is super exciting. Love American Idol.
I know myself, I haven't really watched very much American Idol, but then again, I'm not a barometer for pop culture sort of things. I kind of have to rely on you guys for that. But this is exciting because you've had the opportunity to interview this recording, well, maybe future recording artists. Elizabeth, would you think that Makayla, out of this, however she places, that do these folks usually get some sort of record deal or singing thing?
I think Makayla has a wonderful future ahead of her. She's only 17. She's on the top 20 of American Idol. And I think she's just kind of crushing life.
Yeah, her voice is amazing. I was shocked when I found out she was 17. I don't know. I just thought she was a few years older. And then Elizabeth was like, she's 17. And I was like, whoa.
I was not that cool at 17, nor now.
She looks older than I do.
I know, right?
Like, I look like I'm 17. Like, yeah, she's killing it.
Well, we know that she's certainly cool, but you guys are the coolest Fight for Good podcasters that I work with. But anyways, we hope our listening audience enjoys Michele's interview with Makayla Phillips.
So today we have Makayla Phillips. And Makayla, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are on American Idol right now, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently in the top 20.
Woo, that's so exciting. How does that feel to know you're top 20?
It feels so cool. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a cool kid. I dreamt about it my whole life, so it's just a really amazing feeling to know that all that I've worked for is finally coming true.
That's awesome. And how old are you right now?
I'm 17.
Gosh, you're so young. I'm like, I don't know why I'm all nervous for you, because I'm just like, she's a baby. She needs to be protected.
Well, I'm 18 in like 2 months, so.
That's so exciting. Are you the youngest one currently on?
No, actually, I think Olivia Ximenes is the youngest one.
Okay, that's so exciting though. How old were you when you started singing?
Well, technically the womb, so like, but no, seriously, when I was around 2, I noticed I had the passion for it, and I just would always be singing around the house in my little diaper or whatever. And then when I was 10, I started actually taking it seriously and taking training, and I was scouted by a manager and all that.
Oh, that's awesome. And where did you grow up? Like what state, what area?
I was born in Palm Desert, California.
Okay.
And then I lived like half my life there, and then I moved here and lived another half of my life in Temecula, California. Here as in Temecula.
Oh, nice. So how would you describe yourself as an artist?
As an artist, I'd probably describe myself as just fun. I really adore artists like Demi Lovato and Kehlani, and I really strive to kind of have my own thing like them. Their songwriting, their performances, just everything. So yeah, I'm very R&B kind of poppy.
Nice. Do you write some of your own music?
I do.
That's awesome. And what has been the best part of your idol journey so far?
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like the best part so far has been... It's really hard because it's between actually, surprisingly, Hollywood Week and Hawaii. Obviously, Hawaii was amazing. It was my first time on a plane, my first time outside of California. So, but actually, I think my favorite part has been Hollywood Week, only because I went through probably the most strenuous week of my life, and it taught me a lot. I learned so much from Hollywood Week, and I feel like I've grown a lot more just since that week.
Wow. And what was it that made it so tough, but like tough in a good way?
Oh my goodness, don't even get me started. It, you're waking up in the earliest of the AM and you're going to the theater and you're singing just all day. You're practicing, you're waiting, you're practicing, you're waiting. Not only that, but I was in school, so I had to do school during all of that. And then you wouldn't get back to the hotel or anything until at least like 12 a.m. And
Oh,
then you'd be
wow.
practicing songs because you had to have a new song by the next day. And so, yeah, it was a lot of work.
And I didn't even think about that, the fact that you were still in school. Were you doing like online classes? Did you have a teacher?
I'm homeschooled and I've been privately
Okay.
homeschooled for a really long time now. So my mom kind of it depends on the situation. So if I'm, doing something like Hollywood Week and it's really strenuous and my mom knows it's really strenuous, she's not going to pack on the schoolwork. So
Right.
it's usually just like a few books and then another book that I can just read just to calm
Okay.
down.
Okay, cool. And so are you a junior or a senior?
I'm a senior.
Okay, that's exciting. How this is kind of a double-end question. How has quarantine not only affected your American Idol experience, but how has it affected graduation for you?
Well, I've been asked this question a few times and I laugh every time just because I've been privately homeschooled. I
Mm-hmm.
actually and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't socialize or anything because I actually have more
Right.
friends ever than I did going to a school. Um, but it's just been really easy for me because me personally, I'm kind of introverted in that way. When I'm out with people, I'm totally a social butterfly, but when I'm at home, I really like to be at home. So it's kind of like I've been trained for this my whole life kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I have a lot of friends who are taking it really hard, but I'm not taking
Right.
it as hard. I'm really chill about it because we had planned on having like a home graduation for me for a really long time ever since I was little. So as soon as this quarantine's over, I get to have like a home graduation.
Oh my gosh. And hopefully like a winning American Idol party too.
Yeah, right?
Make it
Right?
double fun. And like I said on the other end of that, how has it affected American Idol?
It's been kind of tough. It's been a little bit tough, but it has been so ridiculously fun. Like I said, I kind of feel like I've been trained for this my whole life. It's been a breeze for me. I get to sleep in my own bed. I get to be in my house with my family in my comfort zone the whole time. So, it's been personally for me really fun.
Okay, that's awesome. We were actually watching TV, the draft yesterday, and there's a few American Idol commercials on, and I was like waiting for you, and I was like, I'm interviewing her tomorrow. It was so exciting, and I don't know why that commercial kept coming on, but it looked like you guys were all on like webcams essentially. So what is happening on Sunday for those who don't aren't following right now?
So we are performing from home, and that's really all there is to it. Safety is the most important thing right now, and so Idol is trying really hard to keep everyone entertained and keep everyone together because at this time, everyone really needs to stick together and keep the positivity up.
And then what is a way that you try to connect with some fans?
I'm very active on social media. Very active on social media. The only reason I love social media is to be able to interact with fans and be able to like make their day. I love DMing just a simple heart emoji back to a fan and them saying, "You just made my whole day." It makes my whole day. So I'm very active. I'm always talking to people. I always try to respond to comments as much as I can. I go live as much as I can, and that's pretty much all we can do anyway, even with our families right now.
Right. And then isn't it easier to also vote? Like, can't people just text to vote now?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's so easy. There's an app that you can vote on.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
each method, you get 10 votes. So there's three methods. That's 30 votes per person. You have the app, the website, and then a phone number that I'm sure will pop up on the TV screen. Or if I get it beforehand, I'll post about it.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. So it is kind of like, I know I hate to say this, but you want as many followers as possible.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And what is some of the best advice that you've received since being on the show, whether it's from a judge or a fan or just anybody?
Oh my goodness. I've learned so much from this experience. That's like honestly the hardest question. Um, the vocal coaches on American Idol have been incredible. They've taught me so much. I learn like 50 new things every single time I get on a Zoom with them. um, there's so many things I couldn't like pick one. I feel like the main one that they've told me is just be yourself, because I find a lot of the time that even with myself and with my friends, just in general, a lot of people, because of social media and things like that, they see these people who just have these unrealistic like images, like body
Mhm.
images, expectations, anything like that. And so you really look up to that and you try to be like that, when really you should just be your absolute unique self, because people will love that anyway.
What advice would you give then to, I mean, even like just the younger generations or anyone else going through this? What would be your number one advice?
I know this is kind of cliche, but don't listen to the haters. Really don't. And it's so important. And I used to make fun of that saying all the time when I was little, because I was just like, that's so obvious. You just shouldn't listen to them anyway. Why do you have to be told that? But it's so true, because once you start to get older and you're really exposed to it, it gets really tough,
Mhm.
especially with the people out there who have anxiety. Like myself, I have really terrible anxiety. So I read those things sometimes, and like some days I'm fine and I brush it off. And then other days I come to my mom and I'm like, wow, this really sucked to hear. I did not like that, you know?
Yeah.
But as of recent, I've kind of just been accepting exactly who I am. I'm not going to let anyone that's commenting behind a screen that I can't see face to face tell me how to live my life and tell me how to be.
That's so true. Um, and then it sounds like too, your mom's one of your biggest supporters. Do you think that having like a great support system like that is really important when you are trying to make a career in such a tough industry?
It is so important, and I'm so thankful. I talk about my family all the time, but I'm just really seriously blessed, and I take it for granted sometimes, and I shouldn't, but they are incredible, and there's not been one performance, one thing that they've ever doubted me on.
Wow, I'm blown away just by how mature and how humble and grateful, like the way you give answers. I just
Oh,
think
thank you.
everybody should be looking up to you, because I'm just inspired just listening to you.
Oh, thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to share with our listeners?
Vote for me on American Idol this Sunday.
Definitely. And what is your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? So that way, when you are on Sunday, everyone knows where to find the phone number and the app and everything.
Yes, my Instagram is Makayla Phillips Music, and that's Makayla, because I get my name spelled like wrong every day. My Twitter is just Makayla Phillips, no add-ons, no nothing, just Makayla Phillips, and then my YouTube is the same as my Instagram.
Okay, awesome. Well, you heard it right here, guys. Everyone go vote for Michaela on Sunday. We're so happy that you were here. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's going to end this episode of the Fight for Good podcast. Be sure to subscribe to Fight for Good wherever you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to follow The War Cry and Peer Magazine on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest. Until next time, this has been the Fight for Good podcast. God bless you.
Subscribe to Fight for Good wherever you listen to podcasts.